Hello, and welcome to the Thrive Mindset Podcast. I am so glad you are here with me. My name is Carrie Dahle, and I am your host. I am an entrepreneur, author, podcaster, manifester, and motivator. And I am on a mission to empower you to create the life of your dreams. If you are looking to uplevel your life, relationships, finances, productivity, and success, you have come to the right place. I will share with you tools, resources, strategies, my failures, and my successes that have all helped me achieve the life of my dreams. It is my goal with this podcast to help you see your potential and empower you to create the life of your dreams. So let's get to it. Welcome back to the Thrive Mindset Podcast. Today, I have the absolute joy of introducing you to someone whose presence is as grounding and uplifting. Julie from Stretch Your Spirit. Julie is a spiritual guide, intuitive coach, and a soul-led woman on a mission to help others reconnect with their truth, release what no longer serves, and stretch into the fullest expression of who they are. Through her work at Stretch Your Spirit, she helps countless people move from stuck and searching to open, aligned, and empowered. Welcome, Julie.
Thank you so much, Carrie. I'm so happy to be here, excited to talk with you and all your listeners.
Awesome. Well, let's jump into it. I believe that we're all connected through our stories. That's how we relate. That's how we get to know each other. And I would just love for you to share your story of how you came into what you do now.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Okay. Let's sit back. Let's um get
Breathe.
cozy. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Settle right into the tail. I mean, that's part of what I teach, right? So I'm a yoga pro, a retreat leader, an inspirational speaker, an author, as you know, and the founder of Stretch Your Spirit. I inspire women, mostly midlife and menopausal women, to feel joyful, stable, and sexy through movement and stillness. And I'm super excited to be here. So, my story, oh my gosh, my story starts when I was about 4 years old. My mom founded, my mom's an entrepreneur too. She has taught me so much, and you'll see what I mean. My mom founded a school of gymnastics when I was about 3 or 4 years old, 4 or 5 years old, around there. And so I've been practicing yoga my entire life, pretty much. And as a gymnast and yogi, and as the daughter of the head coach and founder and owner of the gym, I started teaching yoga when I was like 12. Literally.
Wow.
I know. I was teaching little kids with disabilities. So we had the Special Olympics team who would come to our gym to practice their routines, right? So some of them were on the bars and the beam and doing all the things, but there were some who were paralyzed and who were not on the equipment. So they were my little students, and we would sit on the Florex mat and we would be practicing yoga poses. So we'd be sitting, we'd be stretching, we'd be heightening our awareness of our sensations and our strength and our positivity. And that was my first foray into teaching, and I've been teaching ever since, and I'm 57 now. So it's been a lifelong labor of love, actually. It's such an amazing experience to be on a journey with someone and not just little teeny kids who can't necessarily do the bars and the beam, but also grown women who are like, I'm not sure what's going on with my body, and I feel like I'm the only one, and I swear I've been dealing with this for so long and I'm not sure what to do. And I'm like, sister, I'm so glad that we're talking, because first of all, you're not alone in your pain or your aches or your insomnia or your feelings of fatigue or leakage or inflexibility physically, mentally, and emotionally. I mean, we all have trouble going with the flow now and then. And I love helping women find their way
Mhm.
through some of these mysteries, some of these things that just seem like we've got to suck it up. And it's not necessarily true. I mean, yes, we all go through a lot of the same things and a lot of the same challenges and issues and symptoms and oh, right? But life is beautiful. And there are some wonderful techniques and some of them are super simple.
How did you go from being this gym, I'm going to call you gym rat because that's not right, but a gym girl and the yogi to this, this passion that you clearly have for helping women? When did that happen?
So the shift occurred, let's say, the shift occurred probably when I was entering menopause. Like I said, I'm 57 and I entered menopause when I was about, I don't know, mid 40s. And you start like tiptoeing your way towards it and you're like, what the I heard about this like for 2 seconds, but what is going on? I'm like insane. And I embrace that because what else am I going to do? I can't push back.
So
Tiptoe,
good.
tick tock, right? The clock is ticking. I mean, it's definitely going to continue doing so, hopefully. Um, and so I thought, all right, I'm bringing this into my yoga journey because yoga is all about mind, body, spirit. And I'm always in this moment because there's pretty much nothing else that's as true as that. I am in this moment. I am going with the flow, even though it sucks sometimes, even though it's really hard and it hurts and it's frustrating and I'm a crazy person. But I noticed that giving myself a little grace along the way and making certain adjustments that was it, like that was the secret sauce, that was the magic. And so I started talking about it, and my mother, again, my mentor and inspiration forever and continues to be, we had a conversation and then we started talking about women's pelvic floor wellness and how pivotal her moment was in her journey and how she has grown in her wisdom and her wellness along the way. And that's when I was like, "Oh man, this is good because it's so hard. And we're all going through it. It's not like my struggle is unique, and it's not like some of this stuff that we have to deal with is normal. I mean, a lot of this stuff is incredibly common, but
Yeah.
it doesn't mean it's normal. And there are things that we can do to feel less than crazy. There are things that we can do to feel hopeful, to feel like we can move again and breathe again and consider ourselves and actually feel sexy and free and groovy and grounded. I mean, it can
I
happen.
I love this. This is what excited me about you when I met you a year ago in New York. In fact, I was just talking with Colleen this morning, doing a live with her, and it's this joy, this passion, this excitement for the things that we have to contribute to this world. And I'm sorry, I'm just watching you. And if you're not watching this, if you're just listening to this, her face just lights up discussing this. And she did this too. You said similar things like feeling sexy. Why does that have to go away at an older age?
Right. Why? And why are so many women like, oh, no, no, I don't look at her. I don't touch her. I'm not working with her anymore. She's just the vagina. The whole situation has left the building. I'm like, let's have a talk. Let's have a talk because that is your sacred freaking energy that you were gifted at birth. You are a woman. You are a woman. You are a powerful, freaking beautiful, amazing, gorgeous, just force in this universe. And for you to disconnect in any way with your amazing self, I, if I can have anything to do with it, I'm not going to let it happen. I'm not. I'm going to
Yeah.
wag my finger and sit down and we're going to talk because there are things you can do to feel really good physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, sexually, all the levels of wellness. This is our birthright. Let's
So what
go.
are your just top couple things that you throw at people first when they say, I'm not myself anymore. I don't even know where to start. What,
Yeah.
where do you,
First of all, have your hormones checked. I mean, let's not, gloss over that. That's a really important piece of the puzzle. It's a huge piece of the puzzle. So talk to your doctor, talk to maybe someone new, especially if your doctor's like, oh, yeah, all your symptoms are normal. If that's what your doctor's saying, then maybe you consider a new doctor. Because again, a lot of these things that we're struggling with are incredibly common, but it doesn't mean they're normal. So, and I'm not talking about hot flashes. I'm not talking about the things that pretty much all of us are going to go through. I'm talking about leakage. I'm talking about pressure and urge and any type of incontinence. Um, oh my gosh, don't even get me started about all the pelvic floor instability that's out there that women are just dealing with because they've been told it's normal or they just assume it's normal. That aside, I would say the most important things to consider and start thinking about and or start practicing like stat, like right now. One, get your hormones checked. Two, recognize that you are a badass and that you are beautiful and there are ways for you to reconnect with yourself and feel fabulous again. Three, it's not, it doesn't have to take a whole lot of time, and it's 100% accessible to every single woman out there. 100% accessible. Doesn't have to take a whole lot of time. Some of these strategies are super duper simple, and we can do them as we're living our life. I mean, would I love for you to come on retreat with me and spend a week really learning this stuff? Absolutely. By the way, we start next Saturday. My next one is right
nice.
around the corner, but we're full, so never mind. Stay tuned for that. But do I really want you to work with me? Of course. I've got all the answers for you. But number 3, 4, 5, 6 million is you can do these on your own. That's what I love to tell women and to teach women. Here are your tips and tricks. Now just work them into your life because we're living. But
Yeah.
this stuff is real life. You can practice these things in your real life. You can pair them with your practices. You can habit stack,
Hmm.
right? You can practice one of my tips as you're brushing your teeth. You can practice one of my tips while you're sitting watching Netflix. I mean, just think about all the things that we're doing in our life, all of these rituals that we have. And there are things that we can practice as we're living. Thank goodness.
So you talked about your mom a few times here, and it seems like she's definitely been an inspiration to you. Is she inspiring you with like her words of wisdom for your next phase in life? Because I mean, she's that far ahead of you, right?
Yes, she really, really is. And so I'm a writer. And my last article I wrote, it's not even out yet, but it's coming out Mother's Day. I write for AARP, the Ethel newsletter. It's a newsletter, and you can find it on AARP, or just go to the Ethel or Ethel, AARP Ethel. Gosh,
We'll find it.
Google the Ethel. Anyway, I'm a writer for the Ethel. And my next article is coming out around Mother's Day, and I interviewed my mother, and she has been considering, let's say, wellness and body awareness a full-time job. And
Mm.
not just now, not just, when it became apparent that it should be, which is when a lot of us start to practice body wellness and body mind connection. She's always believed that. And why shouldn't we? Like the one commonality we have throughout our entire life is our body. So for us to be so focused on everything and everyone else, oh yeah, that's great and fine. It's going to catapult our career perhaps, but maybe not because our body's like, don't forget about me. Hello. We're also focusing on everyone else, which is all good and fine. Compassion is great, but hello, the body's going to whisper and you need to listen because you don't want to hear her scream, and she will. But my mom has been absolutely positively 100% believing this ever since, ever since. ever since. Like she's so aware of wellness and it is her priority. And at 85 this year in 2 months, she's killing it. She's crushing it. She's doing great. She still gets on the floor and gets back up a couple times a day to do her yoga poses.
That's
She
awesome.
still takes breaks during her day to pause and close her eyes and rest. And that's not just something new because she's exhausted because she's 84 and a half years old. That's because it's a conscious, intentional practice. And so taking that and recognizing even when I pause, especially when we're super duper busy. We're all so thrilled. Oh, I'm so busy. Oh, I'm so busy. I have so many things to do. I have so many places to go and things to take care of. It's like, seriously? Chill the, you know what, out because
Yeah.
I'm telling you, your body is going to be like, bitch, please slow down.
Yeah.
Slow down, pause, feel peace. Take a deep breath. It takes like literally 3 seconds
Yeah.
to just pause and feel peace and take a deep breath.
Mm.
Like exhale, sigh, and smile. Ready? Let's do it. Inhale, and let's exhale and sigh and smile.
I
That was
love
less than 3 seconds, and that felt damn good, right?
Yeah, I love that. And I
Yes.
love that she's always done that. And you are watching this and mirroring this. And what a thing to touch on because my husband and I were just talking this morning about how yesterday we don't we're not churchgoers. Easter's not something we celebrate. I mean, we get together with our kids and have breakfast or whatever, but that's kind of the extent of things for us. And our kids are too grown to do ACONs and silly things. So yesterday he took off for a while with the dog and went to like his happy space and worked on some things and I was working in the yard and he was like, I'm really like he goes, I feel like guilty a little bit this morning because I had all these things I needed to get done. I'm sitting there, I'm like, why? Why would you feel guilty about that? We need the time. Like we need our souls,
Absolutely.
our bodies, everything needs time to rest and restore and just re-energize in the space you like. And I love the fact that you took off and did that, and I was able to do the same. And then we were able to be home in the evening and just enjoy the evening. But so many of us, we are like, gotta go, go, go.
Yeah, we push through. We
Yeah,
push through pain.
yeah.
To what cost? To what cost? Because all of a sudden, and it's not like maybe it's pretty much a definite. It's not an if, it's a when. All of a sudden, the body will
Hmm.
resist, will scream, will start to break down, will have symptoms
Hmm.
of imbalance, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, sexual, whether it's pain, aches, insomnia, energy,
Yeah.
right? Fatigue,
Hmm.
leakage, pressure, cramping.
Hmm.
I mean, the list is endless. So when we can understand that being proactive when it comes to our wellness is vital instead of reactive, because we know what happens when we're reactive. Oh yeah, that'll be a nice fix, and then 10 minutes down the road, right? It's like putting that little patch on the wheel of the car when you've run over a nail. It'll work. It'll work for a while, but eventually you're going to have to get a new tire. I mean, some of these things are band-aids, and we do that with our body because we simply don't have time. And I'm not saying go out and get surgery and replace your tire. I'm saying just do the work.
Yeah.
Just because it doesn't have to seem like work when it becomes part of your ritual. Then it's something that you're honoring. It's not like drudgery. It's not like, I've got to roll out my yoga mat. I mean, maybe you roll out your yoga mat, which is a beautiful gift to yourself every single freaking time. But maybe you don't roll out your yoga mat. Maybe you're not getting on the yoga mat when you practice your yoga. Yoga actually means mind-body connection. That's the definition of yoga. So when you take that nice deep breath and you exhale and you smile, that's you practicing yoga. When you are having a nice Sunday and instead of going over there to grab the to-do list. You go out and you pick tulips. That is you connecting with you. And that's pretty much the definition of yoga. So being proactive in giving your mind, body, spirit what it needs. Oh, so good. Because then you're not trying to pick up the pieces when everything starts to fall apart.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, what a beautiful thing. And I love that you connected that all together. I was actually going to ask you outside of yoga what things fill your soul. But then I'm laughing to myself in my head as you're saying this, going, well, she just connected everything with yoga. So
Yeah.
let me just ask it in a different way. What energizes you?
Being alone,
Hmm.
reading a book, going outside and doing cartwheels and picking flowers, dancing. If I'm in a crowd, I want to be at a concert. I mean, I'm an introvert, like through and through. People are like, "What? Get out." You
No, I
know,
get it.
I'm totally an introvert. I'm a practicing extrovert though, because I've been a teacher ever since I was young, 12. But I've also been a performer. I was a gymnast from the age of like competitive gymnast from the age of like 6 to 16. So I'm a performer and a teacher and consistently expressing, whether it be wisdom or my own personal story. And I'm practicing being more of that extrovert, more of that socially comfortable human, because it can be really difficult for me sometimes. But again, that's where my yoga practice comes in. I can take a deep breath. I can feel the soles of my feet if I'm standing. I can feel my seat if I'm sitting. I can recognize that I'm grounded and I'm safe and I'm right there in that moment. I have hearing loss. In 2013, I experienced a profound loss of hearing on my right side, and being in a group of people is tough. And I'm an introvert. So the social anxiety is real. All the more reason to recognize how my yoga practice can come in that moment, because if I don't, I'm clenching.
Yeah.
I'm tense. I'm bitchy. I'm holding. I'm resisting. I'm ready to go. I'm out of there. I will not stay. It doesn't feel good physically, mentally, emotionally. And I want to just flee. So that means I'm in my sympathetic nervous system, which is not a good place to be. And so to put myself to drop back into my body, relax my pelvic floor, soften my low belly, release the clenching in my jaw, soften all those bitchy thoughts in my mind that are judging the fact that I'm actually having this moment of difficulty, and just saying, geez, Jewel, freaking take a breath. It's okay. Stay here right now. All is well. You're here. You're here. And so coming back to something that simple. And some women are like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe how often I repeat that mantra, Julie. I can't believe how often I repeat the mantra that you suggested." And there are so many different mantras that can help us in any moment, whether we're feeling anxious or feeling whatever we're feeling in the moment. But having the tools that we need in any moment, especially the tough ones. And these are the things that we practice on retreat, in my yoga programs. When I work with women one-on-one, I teach yoga one-on-one, a meditation. And this is helpful stuff because it's real life. It's real life and it can help.
Yeah.
Life is beautiful, but it's hard. It can be really hard.
But it's still beautiful.
Still beautiful.
Absolutely. Totally beautiful. So the name, Stretch Your Spirit, what does that mean to you?
Back in 2009, I had already been teaching yoga for, golly, right? 30 years, 20 years, whatever. And I founded my yoga business. I had people who I was already teaching as a career at that point. I was teaching small women's groups and I was doing monthly workshops and I was starting to take on private clients one on one. And I thought, okay, I'll make this real, right? And I founded Stretch Your Spirit. It took me a long time to come up with that. And I'm a writer and a poet, and I love alliteration. I love the movement of words. I'm very connected with sensuality and the movement and the water and the flow of the body and of words and music. And so I wanted something that just felt groovy. And I mean, think of an S, like close your eyes and see the S. Like it's that,
Mhm.
if you turn it sideways, it's the infinity symbol. Like S is, maybe it's like a long, skinny S. I mean, it's a sexy letter. So I thought, okay, what do I do? I help you stretch. I help you strengthen. I help you balance. So I started playing with all the words. I'm a word play fanatic, in fact, much to the chagrin of my business coach and my assistant because they're like, Julie, that title was fine. I'm like, no, it has to be this. Anyway, so I just played with the words and I just love it. I just love it. Stretch your spirit. I mean, isn't it yummy?
It is, but I wanted to hear what it meant to you because
Yeah.
I think, again, that will just draw people into you. And in fact, I'm curious, people are going to go to your website after hearing this episode. And what is the one thing for a first time person ever visiting your site, ever looking at you, ever exploring that you want them to walk away with?
Well, I'd love to come back to what is stretch your spirit? I mean, that is such an important question and something for me to continue to dive deep into. I mean, I want you to be still and go inward and really listen. And that's not an easy thing to do. I mean, I've been doing it ever since I was a child, and it's still not easy. But we just have to practice. It's a practice to just go deep, go inward, whether we're journaling or talking about it or moving through it. Maybe you're finding some sort of a rhythm or you're dancing your way through it, but go inward and find that deep part of you with no judgment, no expectations, and no maybe not even attaching to what you do or your name or where you're from or what you might think you'll find, but just going into that place of stillness and that place of groundedness, that place of light and freedom, and be open to maybe feeling a little bit of a stretch, like, hey, here I am, and I'm going to honor that place within me, and I'm going to not be afraid to be more of that part of me.
Yeah,
Stretch
that's,
your spirit, right?
yeah,
Because it's a scary thing.
I love
That's a
it.
vulnerable place. That's vulnerability right there. But that's freaking authenticity. And it's hard to find. You've got to be patient. You've got to be brave, but you are.
Mm, that's such good advice. Such good advice. What's going on in your world that's new, exciting, anything fun coming up to share? I mean, you just mentioned the retreat that now nobody can go to, but
Well, it's my eighth one, and I'm having
yeah.
yet another one, and I already know where we're going, but I can't announce that right here because I
Okay.
have to share it with the retreaters who are going to be with me next week. I have to tell them first, they get
Okay.
first dibs, and then registration opens soon on that next retreat. So, yes, I love retreats. Retreats are so profound. And like I said, this work isn't easy, but it's so freaking beautiful. I can't even explain it. I can feel it because I've done it and I didn't even want to. To be honest with you, my first retreat, the last night of my first retreat, I'm sitting there And it was our last dinner. We're outside in this sultry, sexy air in Mexico, and this huge, enormous, beautiful wooden table under this massive tree. And the women were sharing. And I'm like, oh shit, it's coming to me. And I know that they would appreciate me actual, my actual vulnerability here. And then I was like, oh boy, because that's not easy. But I'm their leader. And so what am I doing? Sitting here clamming up. So I've done the work. I know how difficult, like that's not even the right word. I know how we can get to that moment and we can say, oh my gosh, I don't want to be vulnerable because dot, dot, dot.
It's challenging.
Yeah, it's super challenging, but what's the fear, right? That we
Create
might
fear.
feel. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're not sure what we're going to find. But I shared anyway, and the world didn't collapse. They didn't judge. They
Mhm.
held space for me and they listened. It was a beautiful moment. And so that's what retreats are all about. I'm really excited about that retreat for sure. And I have a new mini course launching very soon. So I'd love to give a little tidbit of that to your listeners. I'm
Yeah.
gonna share a link with you that you can include in the show notes for a free downloadable. And that's going to give them some information on how to keep a nice, healthy, happy pelvic floor space. And I'm going to be launching very soon a mini course for pelvic floor stability. So I'm really super psyched about that. I am also publishing a book very soon.
Your
So that
own or another collaborative?
not a collaborative book. It's my own book. It's a workbook for
Yeah.
my workshops. Yep. So it'll be really fun to promote that and to share that and have women enjoy that as they are working through their healing. So I'm really happy about that. I mean, just wonderful, fun
It's
things.
good. It's all exciting. And I think that everyone here should be really just watching for the next retreat and that announcement because it's going to open up. Anyways, I'm just so excited and they need to be looking forward to this and exploring all the options with you and the opportunity.
Thank you.
So, yeah, one last thing though. If there's something on your heart that we haven't chatted about today, I would love to hear that and love for you to share.
In my opinion, the most important thing that we can do as women is exactly what you and I are doing right now. Have the conversation.
Mhm.
Have the conversation with a colleague, with a friend, with a medical professional, with your partner, with your bestie, with your sister, with your dog, with yourself through journaling. Have the conversation. This is one of the reasons why I decided to launch as an inspirational speaker. I love teaching yoga. I love going on retreats, but I want to be in front of audiences. I want to shout this stuff from the rooftops. I want to speak in your group and her group and with those women over there and all of those people there. Because the more people are hearing these messages, the more they're then talking to their sisters, their besties, their mothers, their daughters. And these are important conversations to have. We're taking these topics away from taboo because they shouldn't be taboo.
Yes.
This
And
is our
there's so
sacred
many
feminine,
things. There's so
right?
many things we don't talk about. So yes, have the conversation. Please.
Yes. Thank you.
All right, Julie, thank you so much for spending the afternoon with me and just sharing. Your wisdom, your words, your kindness, your authenticity, your everything is just beautiful. And I'm so glad you were here.
I'm so grateful to be here. So thank you, Carrie.
All right. Julie is an inspiring woman, to say the least. And she does have so much knowledge and so much wisdom to teach all of us and have conversations with us that most people won't have. That is what I love about her. So I encourage you all to reach out, connect, check out what she's about, and yeah, have a conversation. And above all else, remember that I believe in you and you can manifest the life of your dreams.